One thing worth smiling about first. There's a play running in a small blue house in West Charlotte, 10 people at a time, and it ends this month. I'll tell you where at the end. But first, this is CLT Daily. I'm Steve Baboulis. It's Friday, August 21st, your independent daily briefing for the Queen City. Today, the state auditor looked at Charlotte's transit system. 45% of riders don't pay. On the light rail, it's 60%. And the money set aside to make the system safer mostly sat there. State Auditor Dave Boliek released the report Monday. Start with the fares. Across the system, about 45% of riders aren't paying, 35% on buses, 60% on the light rail. That's between $5 and $6.5 million a year that doesn't come in. Enforcement went the other direction. Fare citations dropped 39%. From 4,763 in 2023 to 2018 last year. And here's a number I had to read twice. In state fiscal year 2025, the total collected in light rail fare fines was $550, not thousand, $550. Now the part that matters more than money. The transit system budgeted $2.2 million for safety and security equipment last fiscal year. It spent about $470,000 of it. More than three-quarters went unspent. Armed security is down about 40% since 2018. Two Charlotte-Mecklenburg police officers are assigned to the transit unit, and the auditor found the system is writing its safety plan against Defense Department guidelines instead of the Federal Transit Administration's. Put that next to something I told you last Friday. Transit ridership rose across the South this spring. Atlanta up more than 25%, Dallas and Nashville about 20%. Charlotte went down 6%, and the reason riders gave was safety, specifically after the killing of Irina Zarutska on the Blue Line last August. So, people stopped riding because they didn't feel safe. In the same year, the safety equipment budget went three-quarters unspent. I also owe you a correction of sorts. On the 14th, I told you the transit system reported roughly half of riders weren't paying, and I flagged that I couldn't source it. Now I can. It's 45%, and the state auditor is the source. Here's the city's side, and it's substantive. Mayor Rob Harrington said, quote, "Safety requires continuous investment and honest measurement." He says the transit system is committed to that work, and he points out the security contract has gone from 110 people to 262, and that crime on the Blue Line fell about 69% in the first quarter of this year. More than 60 uniformed fare enforcement ambassadors start in October, not armed officers. He was clear about that. The auditor's recommendation is gates or turnstiles at light rail stations. That's real money, and it changes an open system into a closed one. It also falls hardest on the riders with the least. Worth saying out loud before anyone calls it obvious. And all of this is happening while Charlotte builds 25 miles of new commuter rail out to the Lake Norman towns. All right, here's what else you need to know today. One clock I'm going to keep. 45 days until October 5th. When Charlotte has to decide on the I-77 toll lanes or repay the state. Yesterday, I told you nobody can say how much. Still true today. Two quick ones. School starts Monday, 4 days, and the Panthers are at Jacksonville tonight, 7:30, second preseason game. Now, as promised, it's called Dauntless, an ode to 2916. Cat Martin wrote it, and it runs inside a small blue house in Enderley Park, in West Charlotte. 55 minutes, 10 people at a time, walked through the rooms. You're playing a guest at a 90th birthday party. It's about black joy in a neighborhood that's changing fast, which, if you heard last Friday's episode about Brooklyn, you know is not a small subject in this city. Weekly through the end of August, tickets through Humanitix, and 2 more this weekend. The BIG3 is at the Spectrum Center tomorrow at 12:30. And Good Food on Montford has 8 days left. That's CLT Daily for Friday, August 21st. I'm Steve Baboulis. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same city. Until then, Charlotte, take care of each other.